Well, today we're going to be looking at Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, or the Bionic Man as he's known. This video is going to be in two parts because I'm going to do a bit of a restoration on him as far as getting his clothes fixed, etc. But this was an action figure that was distributed in the UK by Dennis Fisher, but originally made in the US by Kenner. Who were owned, I think, by General Mills at that point. He's definitely got a General Mills logo on his back, or a write-up on his back. So this was a figure that came out in 1973. Both myself and my brother had one when we were young, and it would have been about 73, 74. This is the first issue, and you can tell this because he hasn't got the bionic grip hand. Pardon me, got a bit of a cough. So they came in various stages. There's basically three, I think, distinct stages. You got this version, which was a solid hand that came with an engine block. You had the second issue, which had a grip in hand. It had like a mechanism on the bionic hand that you could grip things with, and that came with an iron girder. And then there was a much rarer third issue, which had a kung fu hand and a kung fu action, and he came in a snazzy sort of blue stripy top, which as a kid I never saw, and I'm not entirely sure it was ever distributed in the UK. I don't even think I've ever seen one at a toy fair. So I got this off eBay, and there's a phaser. I don't know why there's a phaser there. I got this off eBay. He was quite a good bargain, and the main reason I went with this one, there's quite a few on eBay and they're usually broken and missing things, although the clothing on this one isn't in the best of conditions. You can see that his little badge has been sewn on. He's got threadbare parts, which you do see a lot on this. The material they made the uniform from didn't wear well, but the reason I sort of chose this one, he's got his shoes, which are quite hard to get as reproductions, and he's also got his two Bionic Modules, which I'll show you in a minute. But basically, he's a massive figure. He's 13 inches tall, so he's bigger than Action Man. Action Man was 12 inches tall, which meant, of course, you couldn't really put him in Action Man uniforms. They were a bit tight. But I loved this figure as a kid. My brother also had the same version, and we used to fight all the time over which one was ours. as brothers do. This one's in very good condition body wise. You can see the likeness is really good of Lee Majors, and that sort of smirk he had. There's some paint rubs, and I might touch up the paint. I might leave the paint. I quite like the fact that it's in played with condition. The joints are not bad. This is, again, because it's hard. I'll remove his clothes in a minute. It's not a bit pervy, and show you the joints. Because it's a solid jointed figure, they tended to get a bit wobbly, and they broke quite easily, because I imagine kids just absolutely battered the hell out of these. But yeah, you can see it's a great likeness. He's got a massive great missing eye, and that's because they included some play features on these figures, and one of them was that if you look on the back of his head, he's got a hole, and you can look through it, and you've got his bionic vision. Now this is filthy, so I need to get a Q-tip and clean it up. The camera's sort of trying to look through it. Yeah, cleaned his eye out. It's still a little bit warm, but it does work better. Let's get away from the light. It seems to work better. There we go. You can see it basically is a fisheye lens, so it makes it look like he's looking at things quite a way away. Clever little feature. And it sort of simulated Steve Austin's bionic eye. The other feature was that he had bionic action on his arm, and the way you do that is you pull the arm out slightly and you turn his head, and that operates a switch inside, and then on his back you see he's got a little plunger, and that makes his arm move. Let me see if I can set that up. Okay, so I pulled his arm out and moved his head. It had to go there, and that puts the ratchet in, and you can see his arm moving, and that lets him pick stuff up. Like I say, it came with an engine block, and he could pick that up, and that noise is meant to simulate the bionic noise. Not very good. Alas, poor Yorick. Great figures. We'll have a look at his joints in a moment, but they came with you could buy extra outfits. I remember having the astronaut outfit. I love that, and the parachute outfit. I always wanted his double denim outfit, but never could get that. He came with different arms you could buy, and different mission arms, and he came with different mission legs. And there was a little radio set, a crystal radio set that you had to sort of stick. You had to attach to a radiator to earth it. I remember having that as a kid. Great memories. So let me, in the nicest possible way, let me undress Steve, and we'll have a look at him. Well, we've taken Steve's clothes off, and you can see he's quite robust. He comes in lovely red underpants with bionic waistband. Not entirely sure what that's meant to be. He's very nicely made. You'll notice that his arm looks like it's been in the sun too much, and this was a feature. It came with a bionic skin. It was basically a latex rubber sleeve that you could roll up and expose his bionic modules. You see these little modules in his arm. He had 2 of them. They're usually missing. Buying the module on its own is quite pricey. I mean, I probably paid less for this than you could just get a module for. So to have both of them, that was what sort of drew me to this particular one rather than some of the others. He's also in really good condition. There's no breakages. Normally the arms break at the top. You can see there's a slight stress line there, and that's because the arms do pop off, as do the legs, and that's so you could replace them with the pardon me, with the mission arms and legs. What's really weird, and I'd forgotten about it, is the real lack of range in the joints. So for example, the leg joint, that's all it goes to. It doesn't go right back. The hips are just swivel joints, so he can't obviously move his feet sideways. There's no swivel joints anywhere on his legs or his arms, other than the wrists. So yeah, he's quite limited in the movements he can do, which surprised me, because I remember him as being, I mean, that's the full extent that his arm will flex. But that never stopped me as a kid having sort of great adventures and fun with it. The wrists are nice, and the hands are not really gripping, but they've got enough give in them that you could grip Action Man weapons. So it's both more advanced than I remember, but also a bit more primitive than I remember. Huge feet, couldn't fit Action Man boots on him at all. So you see a lot of these bare feet, because the sneakers that you come with, they tend to get lost as well. These are a little bit worn, but again, you're looking at about 20-30 quid for a pair of sneakers. The clothes are pretty ratty. There's holes all over them. So what I've done is sent off for a restoration set, and what you get is a new uniform, top and bottom. You get the socks, because you should have had white socks, and you also get the replacement sleeve. So I've sent off for them. So the second part of this video will be me putting that on him, and then hopefully getting him back to his former glory. But one thing I did also want to show before this is that this reminds me of a figure I got, I won't say recently, because it was about 5-6 years ago, but it's almost in the vein of this figure, and it is Anchorman. So they did a large doll of Anchorman, and he's, again, 13 inches tall, which is unusual. I'll get him out of the box and show you. But he also comes with the bionic style eye, except in this case, it's the Scotch vision. So you look through it and you're meant to feel how he feels once he's been drinking scotch. This is also a talking figure.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Which I would have loved if Steve Austin would have talked. But the body on this is so similarly made to Steve Austin, so let's get him out and have a look. So as you can see, this figure is also got solid joints. This one comes with, he's got ball joints on his hips, so he's actually, Ron Burgundy is more poseable than a $6 Million Man. He does come, well, like I say, with the same feature. See if I can get it working. There you can see, it's probably not going to focus, but it's like it reduces and blurs. But like I say, this one speaks, which is brilliant.
This soldier have a heart. I love scotch. Come on, in a glass case of emotion. You stay classy, San Diego. I look
which I think, imagine if Steve Austin had been speaking, that would have been amazing. The good thing is that he comes, Austin Powers, he comes with lots of accessories, so we could put Steve in sunglasses or in a lovely bathrobe. But I just thought it was interesting that they obviously were paying homage to the $6 Million Man with this figure, which I think is probably the only sort of knockoff one they did, or not knockoff because there are knockoff Steve Austins, but the only one that's similarly made to this 13-inch wonder. So when I get the new uniform, hopefully it shouldn't be too long, I'll do part 2 of this video and we'll restore him. And also I'm going to try and clean out his eye, because I've got a Q-tip in there, you can see it's really encrusted. See if we can get that working. But thanks for watching. If you had a Steve Austin doll, let me know. And I know there was a Maskatron, which was like a evil robot, and an Oscar Goldman that I never had, but a friend of mine did, and that didn't seem to do anything. Didn't have any action features other than a briefcase, I seem to remember. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and keep an eye out for part 2, and I'll see you next time. Thanks then. Bye.